Every club.
Every day.
The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Newcastle. My name is Iain Mackay. On my own tonight, unfortunately, we delayed our podcast because I thought we'd have Kev with us, but unfortunately, circumstances conspire and it's another solo by me. But welcome to day 5 of my recovery program after that dreadful derby performance. And I must say, big steps were taken forward on Wednesday evening when I was at St James's Park to watch Newcastle beat Fulham 2-1. They left it late, but there were certain reasons to be cheerful in that game. It wasn't a super slick performance. I know we've spoken about that already, but performance of Lewis Miley in an unfamiliar right back position was excellent. Iain Wissa looked really good in the first hour till he ran out of puff a little bit, but scored a great goal. And we won. We're through to another semi-final. Something else to look forward to. And actually, I'm not really worried about Manchester City any more than I would be if it was Arsenal or Chelsea. We've beaten Manchester City at home already. We just need to do well away from home. Maybe take a 2-goal lead. That would be handy, wouldn't it? But perhaps we'll be able to gauge whether Chelsea would have been an easier draw tomorrow when we play Chelsea at home at St James's Park in the Premier League. I've got a ticket for that one as well. How does that happen? It's a 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday. I'm not really sure why Chelsea were playing the day before us. Two teams with midweek games playing at 12:30 on the Saturday, when most of the Premier League had the midweeks off. Not sure why we got picked to play early. Could all probably have done with an extra few hours rest, but not to worry. We're usually quite good in these 12:30s. I can remember seeing us beat Arsenal a couple of times. I think that 4-1 against Chelsea 2 years ago was a 12:30 kickoff as well. But I'm hoping it's going to be the next step on my recovery program. 3 points in the Premier League, beating Chelsea, who are in 5th place at the moment, would certainly go a long way towards helping to eradicate the damage of that dreadful performance last Sunday against Sunderland. And with a whole nearly week to recover, might just set us up to do something when we go to Old Trafford on Boxing Day. We keep going there. It's away. I'll be watching it on the telly like everybody else. Anyway, we delayed doing this last night because we wanted to hear what Eddie Howe had to say. There's a number of injury issues that we thought would be clarified in today's press conference, and of course they were. Tino Livramento went off against Fulham. It didn't look too bad because he did walk around the pitch afterwards waving at the fans. But Howe said today that it's a slight injury on the same knee that he had his ACL. So they're going to take things nice and easy, probably out until the start of the new year. So what's that, a fortnight? They just have to take things easy. I don't think they want to rush him back, which is fair enough, although it does leave us rather short in defence. Further injury updates from Eddie Howe were that both Emil Kraft and Kieran Trippier probably due back at the turn of the year. So too late for Chelsea or Manchester United next week. Dan Burn, of course, we heard at the start of the week had broken a rib and punctured a lung in that match against Sunderland when he went off. And he's got 4 or 6 weeks out, so expect Dan back sometime towards middle to end of January. Again, not available. We are down to some bare bones in the defence when it comes to playing against Chelsea. But I'll wait until the start of part 2. We'll try and pick a team out who I do think should be under some consideration, especially because he played really well for the 20 minutes he was on. And we have been advocating him in terms of rotation in recent weeks, Alex Murphy came on and played left back, and did pretty well. Did pretty well, not just in a put every ball out for a throw in, so be super safe kind of a way. He was picking the ball up and moving forward in an attacking way. And one of our corners, which broke down a little bit, he did chase all of the way back and snuff out a breakaway opportunity for Fulham because he was fast enough to do it. Fortunately, it wasn't Fab Shah that was chasing back with him or danburn. Alex Murphy covered it. So, yeah, I think he's looked quite good when we've seen him in friendlies and pre-season. And that was, he didn't let anybody down on that, did himself no harm at all. Howe said in his press conference that he's trained with the team for a long time, certainly for a season and a half. He's been on the bench a lot, hasn't had very many senior minutes at all. He did curiously come on and play against Chelsea last year. But yeah, Howe would trust him. I think I would trust him if he has to come on. We're hoping that Lewis Hall, who was rested midweek because he felt some fatigue in his hamstring after the Sunderland game, we're hoping that he will come back. But if he doesn't, I think Alex Murphy is ready to take the plunge, ready to trust him to start at left back. Let's be honest, we don't have a lot further choice there. So Sven Botman, not sure what's happening with him. He's had injections in his back, hasn't come back as quickly as we thought he would come back. Howe said today that it was possibly just a week and a half. Jamal Lascelles was back training with them after his injury. But according to Howe, he's not feeling happy in his own body. I don't know what that means, but it definitely means that he is not available for selection in tomorrow's game against Chelsea. So, quite a lot of injuries in our backline. We are down to the bare bones, I think. And even then, the bare bones are if we can get Lewis Miley to play right back as an emergency again, because obviously Tino's missing. That's all right. You only need You only need 4 players to play in defence, don't you? And if we've got 4, then we're okay for tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Somebody, maybe Sven Botman, will be able to come back for the Man U game. I don't know. Let's look at too far ahead. Howe's headache for the defence is in who is available for tomorrow. Nick Pope has been threatening to be available in the last week or two, and again, Howe said he's very close. He's the closest of all the ones that are missing. I'm not sure it's the right game for Nick Pope to come and replace Aaron Ramsdale, who, despite not having kept a clean sheet in the Premier League yet, I don't blame him for very much have gone wrong in defence. Own goal off Bruno's backside in one game was rather difficult to get hold of. The own goal for Tomato was a wonderful header. Don't blame him for letting that one in. And we do look as if we play 10 yards further up the pitch when he's playing sweeper keeper for us, which is a good thing. But defence is a problem. We'll try and pick one in part 2. Midfield, I think everybody was A-OK. I thought Ramsey showed some good flashes. I thought Willock played really quite well against Fulham, getting back towards his athletic self. Could he still be just showing further improvement from that horrible Achilles injury he had all of last year? It does take a long time to get better, your Achilles. Maybe he trusts it a bit more now and he's putting a bit more in. Tonali, I think, was rested. Although he came on for the last 15 minutes and actually possibly was the reason we were pushing forward to score that winner against Fulham. Bruno was his usual commanding self. We're missing Joe Linton, who's got a groin injury apparently and sat the last 2 games out. I don't know if he's available to come back in. He is training apparently, but whether they risk him or not, maybe they're saving him up for Old Trafford. I don't know. Maybe with Caicedo in their midfield tomorrow, this is a game for Joe Linton to come in. Don't know. Up front, well, massive, massive plus sign up front for us on the Fulham game was that Johan Wissa came on, looked fit, ran for 70 minutes, which was a lot more than I thought he would be getting, scored a goal, put some great runs in, and if we can, I'd start with him. Voltemara, of course, had quite a rest, so maybe he's ready to be a little bit more dynamic than he showed when he was at Sunderland, when the Sunderland game. Gordon didn't do much. Barnes played well enough to play most of the game. I thought Murphy played pretty well as well. And to be fair, when they came off quite late for Barnes and Elanga to come on, they didn't really do a great deal. I think Tonali was a good substitute, and he sort of gave the impetus to drive us forward. And of course, it was local hero Lewis Miley who scored that winner from his strange hybrid fullback deep lying midfield position, which he may well be asked to play again tomorrow. So that was all of the injury news. I'm going to put Ken on now, and then I shall run through the people who are missing it for Chelsea, I think, the people who are back, which is more concern. And we'll pick a team and pick a score. We're back for part 2. Now, I couldn't hear any of that advert, so I don't know if it was playing. And Michael, can you check? Can you listen? Sub it in. If it's not, you've all heard Ken before anyway. Part 2. Now, Chelsea are strengthened by the return of Moses Caicedo after his 3-match ban for his red card. Strengthened by Cole Palmer having got through a game, but then without any ill effects. He's been missing for a lot of the first part of the season. Come back and looking a little rusty after his injury cleared up. So, I think he'll probably be a little bit better. Now, I do know that Delap is injured through till the mid-January, I think, so he won't be playing. So it's likely to be João Pedro, who we thought we bought, if you remember, in the summer, right up until he signed for Chelsea. So it could be him playing up front. Expect 1 or 2 jeers. He probably would have got them anyway. But there'll be some particularly bitter memories being put out there around lunchtime tomorrow. Neto's looked really good. I think he'll be playing on the right wing. Don't know who's going to play down the left. Maybe Gittins. Maybe Garnacho. I'm not sure. Garnacho came on as a sub against Cardiff midweek and scored twice, so he's probably earned a starting berth. I don't rate Garnacho. Maybe that's the Man United Garnacho I don't rate. I haven't really seen him play a lot for Chelsea. But anyway, one area where Chelsea are looking much stronger is in defence, largely because of the return of Wesley Fofana from injury. A little bit older than your Chalobahs and your Levi Coles, who's out, of course, because he's got a horrible injury. Reece James has looked really, really good in recent games, but that's as a central midfielder. And with Caicedo coming back, he might end up on the right wing. He might play central midfield and Palmer sit on the bench with Gusto coming on right back. I don't know. The thing is, Chelsea have got such strength and depth that it doesn't matter who's missing. They can always pull somebody good out. Estevao is missing through injury, though, and he is a bit of a wonder kid. So that's got to be a blessing. So anyway, how are Newcastle going to line up? In goal, I would go Ramsdale. I think Eddie is a real Nick Pope fan. If Nick Pope can go, maybe he does. Maybe Nick Pope has to sit on the bench the first time. So maybe we'll see Pope on the bench and Ramsdale starting. I think we have to go long shot, maybe Jacob Murphy, but I think I want to keep him on the right wing. So Lewis Miley, makeshift right back. Lewis Hall coming back to left back. The hope that his tired hamstring is benefited from the rest of not playing at all on Wednesday. It'll be Chow and Shah at centre half. Fingers crossed, no red cards, boys. Or Mick Pope might be playing centre half against Man United. In midfield, I think it's got to be Tonali, it's got to be Bruno, and in the absence of Miley, because he's playing in right back, either Ramsey or Willock. I would put Willock on because of his athleticism, but I wouldn't mind Ramsey in there. They both play on the left. And up front, Johan Wissa centre forward, Jacob Murphy on the right. I would have Barnes on the left, but I think Howe will go Gordon on the left. If Gordon's on song and it's Chelsea and it's a TV game, and I know everybody are worried about Newcastle folding so tamely like they did against West Ham or Bournemouth. Two reasons why we won't do that. One, we're at home. We haven't really done that at home. Not this season anyway. And two, there was a second reason. Because we don't not turn up against the big teams. And Chelsea are a big team. They're a rival. I don't know if you remember, we were neck and neck with them on the year that we got to Champions League 2 years ago. We were neck and neck with them when they got into the Champions League. Sorry, no, they got into the whatever the Europa Conference League, and we missed out. That they're rivals, so it's a big game. We've got fabulous record against Chelsea. I think we've won the last 4 at home against them in the Premier League. And other interesting stats that have come across, Newcastle have scored exactly 2 goals in each of their last 8 home games. So, in going for a score prediction, sensible money would have Newcastle scoring 2, wouldn't it? And probably 2-1 is a sensible prediction, but it's me. And you know my favourite is 3-1. I'm going to go for Newcastle to win 3-1. I hope we start with Wissa. I hope we start with Ramsdale, which means that we're playing up the pitch. It means that we're pressing high. We're winning the ball back. We are racing into a 2-goal lead at half-time. Wissa and Barnes, Gordon, whoever's playing on the left wing. And then, we'll have a Tonali special or something to go 3 up, and Chelsea will score because somebody scores in the last 10 minutes against us, probably from a set piece. But of course, the last 2 games we played against Sunderland, I do remember it, and Fulham, we haven't conceded in the last few minutes. We haven't conceded from a set piece. So in every cloud, there's a silver lining. Not a very thick silver lining, but nevertheless, a silver lining. I think that's as much as I want to do. I can't really chat on with anybody when it's just me. I've picked my team. I'm really looking forward to pressing high and going back to a little bit of the old intensity being our identity, at least to start with. I think Wissa starting gives us that, which is why one of the reasons I would start him. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Lewis Miley does it right back again. And yeah, it's time for Tonali to step back up, work well with Bruno, and have too much for Chelsea in their midfield. We shall have to wait and see how that goes. Michael is coming to do an afternoon podcast to put out straight after tomorrow with his instant match reaction, which if you're subscribed, you'll know that we do a lot of those, and it's generally Michael who's doing them. And then hopefully there will be a little gang of us, me and Michael probably, to try and get Kev to come, and we'll do a proper in-depth on Sunday night for Monday morning. My name's Iain Mackay. Thank you very much indeed for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Hype, I believe that helps us. And share. If nothing else, share for the fact that I found a black and white Christmas jumper. Can't be bad. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you all soon.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.